We hope you had a lovely winter break. Coming to you from Marillac Studio, we have our first production of the spring semester, Eye of the Storm.
Yes, we are here to update you on all things St. John's related with a little extra. Without further ado, I'm Joe Hackett.
And I'm Brandon Ellis, and let's get into it.
Starting off in recent weeks, President Donald Trump has implemented a series of policies across various sectors, reflecting his administration's priorities.
President Trump announced that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to initiate negotiations aimed at ending the conflict in Ukraine following a recent prisoner exchange. He also held discussions with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky regarding potential avenues for peace. Concurrently, our U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stated that NATO membership for Ukraine is not currently feasible.
The administration has undertaken significant changes in domestic institutions. Rick Grenell has been appointed as interim president of the Kennedy Center, succeeding Deborah F. Rutter, who was dismissed along with previous board members. Additionally, an executive order has been issued mandating that foreign service employees align with the administration's policies or face termination.
In a notable move, President Trump has nominated Lori Chavez DeRaymer as Labor Secretary. A Republican and former Congresswoman from Oregon, Chavez DeRaymer, has a history of supporting labor-friendly legislation, which is atypical within the GOP. Labor unions have expressed mixed reactions to her nomination.
On the economic front, the administration has announced a 25% tariff on steel imports effective from March. The United Kingdom has responded by seeking exemptions through diplomatic channels, aiming to avoid a trade conflict.
The administration is investigating athletic associations in California and Minnesota over their policies on transgender athletes. In response to federal gender policies, Worcester, Massachusetts has declared a sanctuary city for transgender and LGBTQ individuals.
President Trump has signed an executive order initiating a 10-to-1 deregulation initiative, aiming to eliminate 10 existing regulations for each new one introduced. This move is intended to stimulate economic growth by reducing regulatory burdens.
These actions underscore the administration's focus on foreign diplomacy, domestic restructuration, economic policy, social issues, and regulatory reform.
In slightly more local news, congestion pricing has been in effect for a little over a month and New Yorkers are split. The daily $9 fee is given to anyone who wishes to drive at or below 60th Street in Manhattan. The toll is only in place between the hours of 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekends. The tax was announced by Governor Kathy Hochul as a way to help fund the MTA. And in a recent poll, 6 out of 10 New Yorkers are in favor of congestion pricing, citing a noticeable decline in traffic. However, not everyone agrees. Commuters who drive into the city are expectedly unhappy. President Trump has addressed the tax and he is not a fan and has threatened to revoke federal approval of the program.
As of the beginning of February, the LA wildfires have been contained. People are still rebuilding and recovering. However, those in heavy burn areas may be evacuated, once again with new winter storm warnings coming in. There are reports that the oncoming storms will be the most significant in Southern California and in the past year, and it will bring intense rainfall. There are preparations being made in the case of debris flows from the snow causing life-threatening destruction. We keep those in LA in our hearts.
On a lighter note, the Chapel Players Theater Group of St. John's University is hosting a play called Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind. This isn't your typical play as it consists of 30 original short plays within 60 minutes. The goal of this play is to expect the unexpected, as anything is possible, including an audience member being pulled on stage. The order of the plays are picked by the audience, which is why it gets the title for being the show that has never performed the same. The show dates are February 20th, 21st, and 22nd and take place at the Little Theater.
Calling all directors, St. John's own Society of Film and Visual Arts is having a film festival. This is an annual film festival hosted by the club where you can share your personal projects. The categories include narrative, documentary, experimental, and their new category, animation. Tickets can be purchased at the door or online via filmfreeway.com. It will be hosted here on campus at the Little Theater on May 7th, 2025. If you're interested, follow their Instagram at SJU Society to stay up to date.
Since we are still in the beginning of our spring semester, let's ask the people on campus how they're holding up.
Hi, welcome to Campus Buzz. I'm Caitlin Oviedo. We're going to be going down to Marillac Basement and see what students here have to say. Hi, I'm here.
Quentin.
Matthew.
Alyssa.
Christina.
Tyler.
Rod.
Chelsea.
Nasir.
Why do you think our mascot is Johnny Thunderbird when we're the Red Storm?
That's a good question. I don't even know. I don't know. Is there some history behind that? Maybe because they're like, we're fast or something, like it's lightning. I don't know.
I like that a little falcon, you know, because it's very fast. You know, Peregrine Falcon's fastest animal in the world. So I'm thinking, and why is he our mascot when we're the Red Storm? That's a great question. The Falcons fly through storm.
I think it's an example of our perseverance. You know, a bird persevering through the storm, how strong we are, how great of a school we are.
That's a good one. I don't know, actually. Like, is it because he's a bird and he's in the sky? But then he's red. Like, there's a lot of questions about him, you know, like, that I never figured out. But I just, like, accepted it, I think, just like the rest of St. John's.
Okay. I feel like it's Johnny Thunderbird, Storm, Thunderbird. I feel like that's.
I think she's the Thunderbird because I guess like thunder still kind of like correlating to storm, if that makes sense. But even though like the lightning and everything is ugly, Thunderbird is the sound. That makes sense?
Yes.
It reminds me of like how a phoenix always rises through the ashes. She's a red storm. I feel like it always comes back to me.
What meal exchange do you think gives you the best bang for your buck?
I would say freshness because of the portion sizes of the meal. I like the Mexican rice bowl. That's a good option.
Honestly, Subway.
Which meal exchange do you think gives you the best bang for your buck? I'm a commuter. Kiss, Marry, Kill, Dak, St. Augustine, Marillac.
Okay, so obviously we gotta go. I think I'm a kiss Dak, and I'm a marry Maryland.
Ooh, kill St. Augustine. Well, actually, I like the second floor squad.
No, that's hard. Marry Dak for sure because I love the living room. It's such a cute aesthetic and you see everything with the open windows. I'll kiss Marillac because that's where the food's at and like it's still a great hangout spot. And yeah, I'd have to kill St. Augustine.
St. Augustine's gonna have to go. You know, that's much about that. Gonna have to marry Dak. You know, a lot of times they are great couches, just overall great place. Just Marillac.
Kill Marillac for sure.
You're bugging.
Kill Marillac for sure.
Kiss St. Augustine, marry Marillac, kill Dak.
You're about to kill that. That's not work here, bro. Okay. I'm gonna do marry Dak. No. Yeah, marry Dak, kiss St. Augustine, and kill Marillac.
I would also kill St. Augustine. I would kiss Marillac.
Kill St. Augustine, marry Marillac, and kiss Dak.
I would kill St. Augustine. I feel like I just don't go there. And I would marry Dak and kiss here.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do kiss Marillac, marry Dak, and kill St. Augustine.
So lovely to see what has been going on around campus. Hello and good day to all Johnnies. I'm Shayla Ramos, and joining me today in the studio is member of the St. John's LGBTQ Committee. Please welcome Catherine Pascal. Good to have you here today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so great. So the first thing we're going to ask you is, what is the LGBTQ community?
Yeah. So this committee, it's a part of SGI, which is student government on campus, and SGI has all different committees that help with different, like we have equity, sustainability, just to reach out to the student body. So I'm the chair of the LGBTQ committee, and mostly what I do is try to interact with the student body, plan events, collaborate with different orgs on campus like Spectrum, Rise, Horizon, like all different types of orgs.
Okay, and speaking of events, what is one of the most recent events that you've had, or an event that you've like personally favoritized?
Okay. Well, we do, my committee and I, we do a taupe paint and decorate event.
Okay.
And we collab with the sustainability committee. So it's all sustainable tote bags and paint. And we usually do it for Spirit Day, which is Spirit Day is like protecting and helping queer kids who have been bullied in high school and in college. So we have a little event, and usually we have a great turnout. So I had that this past November and last year. Usually we like to do it outside, but it was a little cold.
Aww.
And then we also did some movie nights, like Moonlight, if you've seen that movie. It's filmed by, or it's directed by Black queer director, and it's a great movie. So we just do stuff like that. And I had one event where we made cards for Christmas, and we talked to like the other people who came, who are part of my committee, because they were like afraid to go home for the holidays, because not everyone's as accepting.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Well, we love that you guys are so supportive and open to your community. We're going to also ask about your specific accomplishments within the committee.
Yes.
I love that, by the way. That's a cute pun.
Thank you, yeah.
Just anything that you guys done that you feel like is rewarding for you guys as you help others.
Okay. Yeah. Last year, which was my first year, I'm a junior now, and I started sophomore year. Last year we did a clothing drive, and we donated all the clothes to the Trevor Project. And I felt like that was very special to me, like seeing everyone who can't afford clothes, and us as like a St. John student body can give back to them. I thought that was very special.
Oh, I love that. Wait, okay, I'm not gonna cry on camera, but that's so cute. Okay, and for the future, obviously for you being on the committee, like what do you guys have planned going forward? Is there any like specific things that you look forward to the most?
Yeah, so last year we started the pre-Pride Parade, which is like, a little something to do in April before, since we don't have school in June, which is Pride Month. So I'm excited to plan that. And last year we collaborated with all different orgs, and it was something really special. We even got like professors and different vendors from outside St. John's to sell clothing and pins and stuff like that. So I'm excited to plan that.
Oh, that's so cool. And obviously with that, you'll draw in new members as well. And speaking of like new members, how would you, or do you have any words or wisdom, shall I say, to give to anybody who wants to join the community?
Yeah. So freshman year, I didn't do anything on campus. And then my roommate was a part of the Senate of SGI. She was like, you really should do something. You should really like try to join this. So then I didn't want to just be like a senator. So I wanted to do something that's more, I don't know, like more equity involved. So then I was the chair. And I feel like it's a really easy way to get involved, and you are so involved with the school because every week you go to Senate meetings every Monday. So you're just constantly hearing stuff about like from the student body, and I think that would be a great path to go in. And you don't even have to be chair like I am. You could do social media. You could be assistant chair, not as much work. You can just be a committee member. You just show up to the events. So
that's so cool. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the committee. We loved having you. And next up, we have our third installment of SportsWire. Let's see how St. John's Sports is doing around this time.
Welcome back, Johnnies, to the February edition of SportsWire, your home for the Red Storm sporting reports. I'm Ashlyn Mulligan.
And I'm Cristal Rosa-Sanchez. While us students were taking a break and staying out of the cold, the St. John's sports teams were heating up. Let's take a look at some highlights that you might have missed in December and January.
The cheer team ended their season with a national championship, scoring 93.6 points at the Division I cheer competition in Orlando last month. The dance team also competed in Florida, taking third place with 88.8 points in the game day finals. Congrats, Johnnies.
We also have a recent championship for the women's track and field team, who ranked first at the Indoor Metropolitan Championship for the third year in a row. They had 10 first-place wins and beat the second-place Fordham Rams by a whopping 44.5 points. Definitely an exciting start to their spring season.
Our biggest story of the month revolves around men's basketball and the stellar season they've been having thus far. The Red Storm is ranked first in the Big East with an 11-1 conference record. In fact, the team boasted an undefeated January, the first since the 1985 season, which was the last time St. John's made it to the Final Four in the NCAA tournament. The team has a 9-game win streak that could easily be extended by the time this episode airs. At the beginning of February, St. John's was ranked 12th in the country by the Associated Press, its highest in over 2 decades. The USA Today coaches poll saw St. John's as number 10, and their ranks keep climbing.
The team seems to be performing well overall, but let's take a closer look at how they play on the court. WRED-TV went to Madison Square Garden for St. John's buzzer-beater victory against Providence at the beginning of the month. AJ Lagakis and Nico Fret commentate to break down this competitive game.
I'm Nico Fret.
And I'm AJ Lagakis.
And we are here doing an analysis breakdown of the St. John's Providence game that happened a few weeks ago. Here we see Lewis score his first points of the game with this splash of a 3. We see Richmond, the ball moving for St. John's. Scott to Welcher, back to Richmond again. Richmond pulls it for a 50-foot jumper. It's good.
Here's a loose ball, fight for it. It goes to Kadari Richmond as he takes it up the court. And Richmond will find Davon Smith, who looks to drive and put it up. It's no good, but Kadari Richmond with the tip in as the St. John's Red Storm add another 2 points.
And we see Richmond snagging the rebound out of the air, pushing it down the court over to Smith. Smith inside to Ejiofor. Ejiofor goes up, misses. Rebound goes to Smith for the St. John's. Over to Lewis, he gets himself free in the corner for 3 and knocks it down.
And here we are, Kadari Richmond, who gives it over to R.J. Lewis Jr., over to Davon Smith, back to Richmond, who takes an unusual 3, and it's good. Richmond hitting the 3 to extend St. John's' lead.
See here, Smith with the ball. Passes it over to Lewis. Lewis surveying, directing, over to Smith. Smith back to Lewis. Lewis over to Smith. Welcher. Welcher inside to Richmond. Richmond pulls up, 50-foot jumper is good.
Here's Richmond giving it over to Zuby Ejiofor, who knocks down the floater. And as he points and backs up to center court, the ref raises his hand, and a timeout is called for Providence.
Here, Providence turns the ball over. St. John's with the steal. Richmond with the steal. Pushing the ball down the court. Little handoff to Lewis. In the wing for 3. See here, Pierre for Providence with the ball. Guarded by Ejiofor. Ejiofor staying with him. Little spin move. Jumpers blocked by Ejiofor. Rebound goes to Richmond on the push. Richmond over to Lewis. Into the lane for 2.
It's now Davon Smith taking it up the court. He gives it over to Kadari Richmond, who gives it over now to R.J. Lewis. Lewis moving around the point. Back to Ejiofor now. Ejiofor looking for someone. He finds Davon Smith at the point and gets a little help from Zuby Ejiofor. And now it's Smith rolling. Kadari Richmond. Wide open 3 is good. Kadari Richmond extends the lead for St. John's.
And here we have St. John's on the possession, pushing the ball down the court. Richmond with the ball, handling. Outside to Wiltshire for 3. Off rim. Rebound almost goes to Smith. Can't snag it. Scrum for the ball. Richmond able to pick it up and put it up and in with a chance for an and one opportunity.
Here's Davon Smith trying to orchestrate the offense as he holds, guarded by Pierre. Now over to RJ Lewis. Lewis controls. Jump shot is good. Falling for RJ Lewis as he backs up. Players trying to orchestrate now their defense, and Lewis leaves a man wide open for Providence. An easy slam dunk.
Here we have Pierre being guarded by Scott. Pierre passes it over to his left to Abdir Rahim. Rahim for 3. Timeout St. John's. Their defense is struggling. Patino wants to talk things over. Rahim with 27 on the game as he's leading his team back.
Here we have RJ Lewis at the line as he takes his free throw. It's no good. He recovers it and is pushed out of bounds. And a foul is called on Providence as St. John's will retain possession.
Providence with the ball over to Joseph. Joseph drives in, guarded by Scott, kicks it out. Over to Pierre. Pierre sizing up Richmond. Drives past him to put the ball up over the glass and cut the lead down to 1.
Here we have RJ Lewis. Gives it over to Kadari Richmond. He points. Gives it now over to Zuby Ejiofor. RJ Lewis getting kind of a roadblock from Ejiofor as he pulls up and hits the jumper. RJ Lewis with a 66-63 lead now for the Red Storm. As Joseph comes right back, pulls up his 3 and hits, showing some emphatic celebration as Providence ties the game, forcing St. John's to call a timeout.
And here we have Richmond with the ball, letting the clock wind down to set up what is potentially the last shot of the game. In now between the legs, crossover. Richmond into the paint, 50-foot jumper is good. St. John's goes up 68-66. Joseph on the inbound, heaves it and misses. St. John's wins 68-66. Grinds out a win and fends off the Friars. And now we will send it back to Ashlyn and Cristal in the studio.
You can listen to more of AJ and Nico on their show, The Hat Trick, which airs on WSJU Radio on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m.
St. John's is seeing the creation of a dream team led by point guard Kadari Richmond. He was included in the Big East Honor Roll 2 weeks in a row and proves himself to be a dominant defensive player and an asset for the team's offense.
Following that close matchup, the team played against Marquette, who was ranked 11th in AP polls, and it proved to be a tight game. Marquette was up by just 1 point at halftime, but St. John's pulled away with the win and ended the game 70-64. The team has 8 more games against Big East competitors before the conference tournament, which begins March 12th.
While the basketball team may be on fire, the baseball team is just warming up. Coming off of their 2024 Big East Championship win, the St. John's baseball team is gearing up for another dominant season. The Red Storm was placed 3rd in the preliminary coaches poll, and 4 Johnnies were already selected for the preseason All-Big East game. This year, they have added 12 new freshmen who are ready to make an impact. Among them, we have Chaz Wright, who averaged .448 in high school, David Rodriguez, a right-handed pitcher who was named Pitcher of the Year in 2024, and Adam Agresti, who was ranked 11th in the nation as a catcher. With a strong freshman class and heavy training alongside Detroit player and 2024 CY Young winner Tariq Skubal, St. John's could be heading towards another championship victory.
The softball team was also ranked 3rd in preseason coaches poll. Standout player Jared London ended last season with an on-base slugging percentage of 1.003 and 11 home runs under her belt. The team begins their season February 7th in Texas, playing Houston Christian and University of Houston in back-to-back games.
As both winter sports heat up and spring sports get underway, it's a great time to be a Johnny. With championships on the line and new talent stepping up, St. John's Athletics is entering a new era, and it's a year to be excited about.
Student tickets are free for the baseball and softball contests, and you can learn more information about men and women's basketball tickets at redstormtix.com. I'm Ashlyn Mulligan.
And I'm Cristal Rosa-Sanchez, and that's all for this edition of SportsWire.
Go Johnnies!
And we're back here in the studio. Welcome back to WRED-TV's Entertainment Corner, where all things pop culture related are discussed.
Starting off strong, the Philadelphia Eagles soared to victory in Super Bowl 59 on Sunday, February 9th, crushing the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 in New Orleans. Jalen Hurts led the Eagles with a commanding performance, while the Philadelphia defense pressured Patrick Mahomes relentlessly, sacking him 6 times and forcing 2 interceptions. The Chiefs struggled to keep up, falling behind 37-6 before attempting a late comeback that ultimately fell short. This loss prevents Kansas City from achieving a historic three-peat, a feat last accomplished by the 1960s Green Bay Packers. On the entertainment side, Kendrick Lamar electrified the halftime show with a powerful performance, drawing rave reviews. Meanwhile, the game itself delivered record-breaking viewership with 127.7 million views, making it one of the most-watched Super Bowls in history.
On February 2nd, Trevor Noah hosted the 67th Grammy Awards. Beyoncé made history as the first black woman to win a Grammy in the country category in over 50 years. Kendrick Lamar swept the Grammys, winning Best Music Video, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year for his famous diss track, Not Like Us. Sabrina Carpenter also had a big year with her wins in the Best Pop Solo Performance and Best Pop Vocal Album categories. Awards season continues with the 97th Oscars on March 2nd. Some of the most nominated films are Emilia Perez, The Brutalist, and Wicked. We will be holding space for all of these great movies and actors nominated.
And director David Lynch has passed away this January at 78 years old. Lynch was a man of many talents, originally going to school for painting and finding his love for film and writing along the way. He is known for his approach in capturing the surreal, the dream world we enter that is devoid of all common sense and beyond our understanding. Lynch was the driving force behind many films in his time on Earth, such as Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, the first film adaptation of Dune, and what some people call his most important piece of work, Eraserhead. He also created the cult classic television show Twin Peaks, which ran for 2 seasons from 1990 to 91, its prequel movie Fire Walk With Me in 92, and its 3rd season revival in 2018. David Lynch left a lasting legacy on the entertainment industry no other could replicate, and was able to translate his twisted ideas into an equally twisted visual result. David Lynch's love for coffee, diners, and murder mysteries will never be forgotten, and neither will his revolutionary films. WRED-TV sends our condolences to his family and friends, and may he rest in peace.
The absolute comic book resurgence reported back in November is still going strong. Inside reports say that the 5th issue of Absolute Batman has gotten over 140,000 pre-orders, which is a milestone for comic sales in recent memory. Series creator Scott Snyder says, "I just can't wrap my head around that. I can't. I never expected us to sell even really a fraction of that by the time we were at issue 5. The Absolute line as a whole has introduced the modern generation to a whole new world of comic books."
Now, we will close off this program by diving into some upcoming projects you won't want to miss. First on our list is a long-awaited continuation of an iconic TV series. Daredevil Born Again, starring Charlie Cox, shows Daredevil navigating the Hell's Kitchen cityscape while Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin runs for mayor. The show will have these foes clash and maybe even work together. On top of that, there are set to be lots of other characters coming back, such as Punisher, Foggy Nelson, Vanessa Fisk, Bullseye, and more. The 9-episode series is coming to Disney Plus on March 4th.
High Rollers, starring John Travolta, shows a master thief named Mason being pulled back into the crime life by his nemesis Salazar. Salazar kidnaps his wife and won't give her back until he completes a near-impossible casino heist. Migos rapper Quavo also makes an appearance, and you can catch this thriller in theaters on March 14th.
Lastly, we have Snow White, a live-action reimagining of the classic 1937 film, which was also an adaptation from a German fairy tale. Produced by the team behind Wicked, the movie stars Rachel Ziegler as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. The classic theme of kindness versus jealousy, stunning visuals, and its beautiful soundtrack will not be something you want to miss. Coming to theaters on March 21st.
And that concludes our first Eye of the Storm for the spring 2025 semester. We hope you enjoyed.
Of course. You can see more of us on our YouTube channel, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X.
I'm Brandon Ellis.
And I'm Joe Hackett, and we'll see you guys next time.